You ever noticed how many people are not really living their lives? They are counting down. Only 5 years until retirement. 7 more years, and I'm out. I'm just waiting for the day I can finally be free. At first, that sounds reasonable. Maybe even responsible. But hidden inside that mindset is a dangerous trap. You start wishing your life away. You stop living today because you believe real life begins later. After the mortgage is paid, after the promotion, after the kids grow up, after retirement. And the scary part is, this mindset is easy to understand. Most people are tired. They work jobs they do not love to pay bills that never stop. They feel overworked, underpaid, emotionally drained, and trapped in routines they never consciously chose. So retirement becomes the promised land. One day, you tell yourself, I will finally travel, I will finally rest, I will finally be healthy, I will finally become the person I wanted to be. But life has a cruel habit of interrupting our plans. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Today is the only reality you actually have. One illness, one accident, one layoff, one breakup, one phone call, one crisis can change the entire direction of your life. That is not negativity, that is reality. The retirement trap happens when you make one future date responsible for all your happiness. Planning for retirement is smart. Saving money is smart. Investing early is smart. Reducing debt is smart. But postponing your entire life until retirement is dangerous. Imagine retirement as a hill in the distance. You put your head down and start climbing. You tell yourself that once you reach the top, everything will finally be worth it. But because you are so focused on the hill, you miss everything on the way, the conversations, the people, the opportunities, the quiet mornings, the small adventures, the moments that will never happen again. And the most painful truth is that not everyone reaches the hill. Some people retire and discover their health is gone. Some finally get free time but have lost connection with the people they love. Some saved money for decades but never learned how to enjoy life. So what do we do instead? First, plan for the future, but do not worship the future. Have a retirement plan, save, invest, build financial discipline, but do not treat retirement as the only doorway to happiness. It should be a direction, not your entire identity. Second, if you hate your job, stop only counting down and start designing a way out. Learn new skills, build savings, reduce expenses, explore new career paths, create options. You may not be able to quit tomorrow, but you can start moving today. Do not become a victim of your routine, become the designer of your next chapter. Third, avoid consumer traps. Many people hate their jobs, then spend money to emotionally recover from those jobs. They buy things they do not need because they feel stressed. Then the bills increase, then they need the job even more. That cycle keeps people trapped. Real freedom is not buying everything you want. Real freedom is needing less and having more control. Fourth, protect your health now. Do not wait until retirement to exercise, sleep better, or eat better. The body you bring into retirement is built by the choices you make today. Without health, retirement can become less of a reward and more of a repair project. Fifth, become a lifelong learner. Money matters, but skills matter too. The world changes. Industries change, technology changes. The more you can learn and adapt, the less dependent you are on one employer, one role, or one perfect retirement date. 6. Be careful with too much social media. Social media can make you feel behind, poor, boring, unsuccessful, and trapped. It constantly shows you someone else's highlight reel and makes your normal life feel like a failure. Treat excessive social media like junk food for the mind. A little may be fine, too much will distort how you see your life. 7th, start living. Now, do not wait until retirement to travel, learn, rest, reconnect, laugh, create, or explore. You do not need to quit your job and move across the world. Start small. Take one evening a week for yourself. Call an old friend, go somewhere new nearby. Learn a skill, read a book, cook a real meal. Spend time with your family without your phone in your hand. Life is not something that begins after retirement. Life is something you practice every day. The best approach is balance. Live as if today matters, because it does. Plan as if you may live a long time, because you might. That means saving money, but not turning your life into a prison. Working hard, but not letting work consume your identity. Looking forward to retirement, but not treating today like a disposable draft. Retirement is not paradise, it is just more time. And if you never learned how to live before retirement, more time may not magically make you happy. But if you start building a life you do not need to escape from, then when retirement finally comes, you may realize something powerful. You were already living in the promised land. So stop wishing your life away. You are not alive for the sake of retirement. You plan for retirement so you can protect the life you are already living.